Good evening from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 5:50 p.m. on the 5th of December 2023. I'm a bit puffed, a bit out of breath. I've come home from a lovely visit with my father's first cousin, so I'm his second cousin. What is the daughter of a cousin called? Cousin once removed or second cousin? Anyway, I just refer to her as my cousin because she made the effort to befriend me quite some years ago when we found each other on Ancestry.com. And she's down from Cairns visiting her transitioning daughter. And so I got to meet her daughter, and who was very happy to see me also. So it was quite lovely, actually. Very, very heartfelt, very warming, very sweet. My cousin Melissa Rose and I had a lovely lunch in the Red Bank Plains shopping centre. We had Chinese, and I had quite a large amount of food. Actually, I didn't think I'd get through it all, but I haven't eaten much in the last couple of days, so I ate the whole lot and was actually astonished that I ate it all. So I'm not going to have dinner tonight, but I'm having chocolate because, of course, I am, after all, the Tanya. Chocolate must happen. So yeah, it wasn't too bad a drive coming home, except yet again a truck tried to move into my lane. He was indicating, but he was trying to force into my lane. If I have one more truck try to slam into me, I'm going to start reporting them to the cops. I'm going to be that person. That's 2 trucks in the space of what? The last one was 9th of August, and today's the 5th of December. August, September, October, no. In the space of four months, trying to run me off the road and kill me, right? Motherfuckers. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I just hung on my horns and kept driving and hoped for the best. Unfortunately, he didn't move in. So he started to. Anyway, I got home safely again off the Ipswich Highway. And I'm alive. And it's hot in Brisbane. But now I have chocolate. I've been out and filled up my little bird bath pond that I use as a bird bath because I had it emptied because I don't want to be breeding mosquito fry. And I thought, I felt guilty all day. I thought it's a stinking hot day and I haven't filled it up with fresh water. Those poor birds. So I've cleaned it and filled it up, and that's why I'm out of breath now. But that's another job done. So there is that. And hopefully I feel well enough to go dancing on Friday, because I had a good night's sleep last night, but only for 7 hours, which is still a lot less than I normally sleep. So hopefully I won't be too exhausted come Friday. Oh, my cousin and I sat at Dunkin' Donuts or some donut place, and we got chai lattes, and I bought my cousin some donuts. And there was a lovely Māori woman there and joined in chatting to us. We had a lovely chat, and she was so lovely. I actually gave her my phone number and she gave me her number to stay in touch. Very nice woman. So I'm out in the world and I'm actually meeting lots of new people. It's actually quite unusual and astonishing. Apart from the trucks trying to write me off and kill me, I'm living my best life, right? So, yes. So I've had another lovely day, and now we shall continue with today's readings of even date of my journaling that I have kept up assiduously as a record of where I'm at in the breakdown of Western civilization and the zombie apocalypse. It's getting ever more frightening, disturbing. The terrible driving on the roads, the acopism, the people reverting to childhood, the general malaise and weakness, everyone feeling in various degrees of unwellness, ill health, poor health, the adverse reactions, the regression. Did I mention the regression? It's a lot of regression. But I'm going to have to stay very stoic and very determined to cope in the next. How long is the fallout from the last 4 years going to be? Probably another 3 to 4 years. So I'm going to have to, yes, maintain a very clear head and a very sanguine gnosis worldview, and try not to get dragged into other people's drama and chaos, although it's hard when you're living your own dreaming, your own psychedelic dreaming. But I have streamlined my life down. It's pared down with all the estrangement of the last of my daughters to me, myself and I in my little home, right? And now I can see that the gods are calling me into service more and more with my shamanic attributes, to just be either a strong presence of comfort and stoicism for people. I noticed that the lady at the shopping centre was really looking to me, telling me that she was widowed twice and the horror of it all. And I said, yes, I went through that when my mother was dying, and Rose concurred. She went through that weird twilight zone you go into when you're helping a loved one pass over, of living almost between two worlds, the world of the hospital and your own world at home, in a kind of a brain fog, twilight zone type existence, torn between your own needs and the needs of your loved one. So we talked about that actually. And then she looked at me and she said, oh, you get it. And so we hugged and continued walking together and swapped numbers. And I do get it. We all get it. Those of us who've lost a partner, a family member, someone close to us, right? And I'm actually still kind of in the throes of grief from Beauregard, although not as deeply as I was initially, because it was just heinous what was done to us. But I'm conscious that I'm still in my own mild transitory state. As I said to this lady, I said, I thought I was probably dying. I've been so very unwell for quite some years, I said. But for someone that's dying, I'm pushing against all my walls, kicking them all down, and living my very best life in the face of it all. And she just sort of looked at me, because Māori people are very spiritual and very attuned to the spirit world. She understood exactly what I was saying. We even laughed. We laughed quite a lot, my cousin and I, and this lovely lady. Her name was Sandy. And, we had again another soul kinship, that we've all gone through deep loss, and we all understand our walk on planet Earth. The resting joy and rebuilding after long periods of suffering. As I said to her, you have mana. She said, I too was fighting the hospital staff to make sure my last husband that died got proper care. I said, I know it's awful. It makes me horrified to think they're trained professionals, health professionals, paid lots of money, and yet they often can't do their job adequately or even use basic common sense. Like the example of pouring bloody lemon-flavoured cordial that tasted like bleach down my mother's gullet. She refused to drink it, and I wondered why she was dehydrating, until I tasted the drink and said, would you drink this shit? Give them water with lemon slices, or even just a bit of mint, It's cheaper than that awful cordial. Anyway, she nodded. She said, yeah, they were giving that to my husband too. It's evil what goes on. Absolutely evil. I'd like to know who has the lemon cordial contract for all the hospitals and aged care facilities, or if they just do it out of sheer sadism. I'd like to know, even after all these years. The Tanya wants to know who's running that shit show. I told her, I said I got the place shut down with an independent visitor. It was so very, very bad. Not just the bleach-flavoured lemon cordial, but all the other malfeasances that were going on. She looked at me in horror. That was back in 2010, people. And then the last 4 years, oh my goddess, oh my goddess. Anyway, in spite of it all, I had a lovely day. My cousin's daughter burst into tears and said to me, please stay in touch, I have no other family. And I looked at her and I said, I understand. I have no family anymore either, except for, your mum and my few friends that represent family to me, because they've stuck with me through thick and through thin, through hell and high water, and more horrors than you can poke a bloody bone at. So here we go. But a lovely day was had, and I shall rejoice in that. And yes, tomorrow I'll start my bladder diary for 3 days. Friday night I'll go dancing. And, the days and the weeks will flow and unfold in perfect alignment as they always do. So there you go. Oh, my cousins had the most beautiful black cat. I love black cats. Named Wednesday, and then they had another cat that was a tabby named Enid, and Max, who was Ashley's non-binary partner, told me that they named Enid after the Wednesday Addams, after the Wednesday Addams show or something. So I don't. She did say the full name of Enid, the character, but I didn't remember who Enid was. I'll have to watch it, won't I, since I've forgotten. But anyway, it was cute because Melissa said, Enid doesn't like me, does she much? And Enid, being a tabby, sort of did this little frown like this. And it was delightful. And I looked at her, she was held in Max's arms, and I said, oh, Enid, I can see that you really don't like my cousin, but you like me. And then she sort of went, as cats do. So it was actually hilarious. So, that was a sweetness too. Anyway, this has jumped back. I had it on the right page, can you believe it? And it's somehow jumped itself back to the page it likes to start on when I open up my laptop. Just to be a difficult little customer, there's a genie in my laptop. But I can't afford a new laptop. So I'll just have to fight the genie, and complain loudly and vociferously because I'm alive, ain't I? You have to laugh. Yes, Charlie. Charlie's very happy to see me because the 2 days I have been gone all day. I've been a very popular mummy. I've been in demand, Charlie. I've been in demandies. But now I'm home with my best girl. I'm home with my best girl, Charlie. Yes, I know. Mama loves you too. Mama loves her Charlie too. All right, now, Don't sneeze in my face, Charlie. That's not very kosher. Right, here we go. We start again. I finally got there. 5th of December, 2023, and it was entitled, If Love is the Answer, What is the Question? Right. Here I have a photo. Two more sleeps. Here I have a photo of the Hanukkah candelabra lit up. So what year was that? That was the 8th day because all the candles are lit. What day? What year was that? Do I mention it? What year? No. Sometimes I put little titles on the photos, but obviously hadn't bothered with that one. Doesn't matter. The thought was there, darlings. 5th of December 2022. So I write a comment on a video I posted that came from youtube.com of Neil Oliver saying cancelling Christmas is sinister, says Neil Oliver. And I'm not fond of Christmas. I don't celebrate it, but I'll be damned if it should be cancelled because, lots of people rejoice in that holiday. Just because I don't and it triggers me doesn't mean everyone else should miss out. Don't be selfish, people. Let people have their holidays or holy days or whatever they take delight in. Don't be miserable, malfeasant and toxic. Anyway, my comment to that was, he has a point. I had a massive breakdown in 2020, I really did, and actually decorated a small Christmas tree which I bought. That's how I knew I wasn't well, people. I mean, I wasn't unwell in a bad way, but it was just a very unusual thing for me to do. I had not celebrated Christmas for 34 years, as I am a Jew and a witch. But no bastard will ever blow out my candle, my light. I won't be putting that little tree up this year, as I feel pressurised by the Stepford Wives syndrome. But as an act of rebellion, go for it. What would Jesus do? So yes, 10:30 p.m. I just want to cry, but never mind, I'll carry on. Because I am not weak, people. I carry on regardless. Might take a hit for a few days, but by the gods, when I get up again, look out. I just had a lovely long chat with Crystal, who blamed my mental state on my eating halloumi, that she referred to as hadumi. We both burst out into hysterical laughter. That cheese... Well, we're both lactose intolerant, except I'm still in denial about that. That's why it was funny. That cheese tasted like cardboard and like bitterness, as if made by... All right, let me try again. As if made by an angry Greek menstruating woman. If it did indeed upset my biome and cause suicidal ideation, well, hell, it wasn't even worth it. I explained at great length that my mental state is not just the cheese, as I did not eat all that much, but my lactose intolerant daughter wouldn't have it. Still, we had a good old chat, and I do feel much better. 3 days off the full moon, so I will be in a heightened state in a heightened mood state. Due to that also. Oh, I needs a good howling, I does. I need something, I does. Actually, never mind. Today I have been very mood disordered. This is back in 2022, by the way. I feel quite good mentally today, in spite of the chronic fatigue, chronic lack of sleep. Lots of suicidal ideation that I have had to beat back with trite little glib mindfulness pep talks. All morning I had a spirit in my head, all this morning, today, even date 2023, saying, I love you, I love you. This went on for like an hour, and then I went, well, who are you? Why do you love me? They didn't give me their name. So I think I was just picking up on my cousin's excitement about me visiting today, or maybe, I hate to say it, maybe someone close to me has transitioned and I don't know, or I don't know, but it was very weird. It was a little bit confronting, actually. I worried that there was a warning that something was going to go wrong today. But apart from another truck trying to change into my lane and write me off the road, nothing untoward happened. Thank goodness. I guess that's enough of a one scary fright again. Anyway, I'm going to start reporting those bastards. They're really dangerous. I walked around the garden in a daze, then had bouts of intense anxiety. I decided to channel that into cleaning the filter of my fish pond. I changed over the fountain head too. It looks so pretty, and the water is clearing up at last. New water lilies. Oh, Charlie, did you really need to do that? Like, really? Shat down my back, didn't she? New water lilies are pushing their way up, but I need to buy, and I've lost it again. Oh, dear goddess. But I need to buy cow manure and coarse sand and repot them soon. Yeah, same thing this year too. After that effort, I still felt broken and fractious, so I got out my crucible that I thought was damaged and cleaned the excess borax off it by burning it off, according to a video by Andrew Berry. Then I got some copper scraps and lit up my MAP gas torch and attempted melting copper again. To no avail, although I got 2 small clumps of molten copper, and the reason for that is copper melts at a much higher temperature than sterling silver. So to melt copper, you need a Smith Little torch melting with a melting rosebud attachment, and to have the heat that you require. But I didn't know that at the time, so I was making a lot of terrible mistakes and creating a lot of failures and wastage and annoyances for myself. But see, I've learnt because I was able to tell you what it was I was doing wrong. Yay! So I'm very proud of my new learnings. If I could get a PhD in how to stop Charlie from shitting down my neck, I'd be a very highly successful mama too, wouldn't I? So that was a waste of an afternoon. And the crucible is destroyed now, but I will put it aside until I can afford the little Smith torch I should have bought 2 weeks ago, but I freaked out about the expense and money melted like butter, and I still have to find the money to service the car. And I'm still waiting to buy a replacement torch with hoses, which melted early this year. And again, no money because I had to put tyres on my car. But priorities, people, priorities. Adulting is hard sometimes. So round and round it went, my anxiety and fears almost swamping me to obliteration. But I am proud of myself for aspiring Did you just pull out a feather? Can look at this. Can you stop doing that? You're half bald already. Can you just stop with the trichotillomania? I think you need birdie Prozac. Do they even make Prozac for birdies? Do they? Do they make Prozac for birdies? You nutbird. Even my bird's got mental health issues. I mean, for the love of God. Where was I? Oh, but I'm proud of myself for aspiring to learn new skills, for not giving up. Like she doesn't give up on turning herself bald, even though everything seems so impossible now. I need a drink. That's better. I'm once again tossing up whether to sell my car, as I never use it except to buy groceries or to drive to the casino, now Brooklyn Standard, for dancing. I go nowhere and feel resentful about the constant drain on my meagre finances keeping that car going. The paint is destroyed and I have no shelter to protect it. I'm slowly being driven out of my sanctuary by nastiness, but what good is a car I can't afford to upkeep? Anyway, I realise I'm triggered because it's December. It happens every year without fail. Hanukkah begins on the 18th of December. That was last year. So that is nice. But the whole silly season vibe got turned up early because everyone was so afraid and out of sync with normal holiday programming that they brought it all forward early. And they've also all painted their houses ugly shades of grey. I feel like I'm permanently living in a coffin. I mean, I live in hell, people. It's abhorrent. Everywhere you go, grey, 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 grey. One house at least had the grace to paint her house kind of a very dark, almost navy blue. And one's still cream up there with a green roof. Them and I, their house and mine, we're the only renegades that haven't given in to pots of grey, right? Oh dear goddess. Anyone that paints their house grey has ceded their soul, in my opinion. They're already half dead, the walking dead. It's an ugly fashion. Grey is an ugly colour. It's just a nothing colour. Anyway, Christmas is my worst of all holidays. A holiday that for me means crushing berserker memories of empty, shallow, vapoured gifts, overcompensating for my familial abuse, sick and perverted. So hell no, I won't go. Where are you going, Charlie? Hell no, Charlie. You come here. Come here. Come. Squeezing behind the window there like a brat. I won't participate in the charade. I would get in my car and drive far away this Christmas and perhaps never come back. But I won't. I can't afford the petrol or the accommodation or the intense loneliness. I might be isolated at sacred space here, but at least I have the garden and my pets. So there is that. Trapped in a hell of my own making. I did get an invite from my friend Jackie a couple of days ago to come down and stay with her for Christmas, but she lives in the Central Coast and it's 8 hours drive away, and I don't have money for petrol and all of that, and I'm not allowed to drive more than 3 hours a day because of my sleep apnea, so it would be risky. Oh, someone's got a new little puppy, cute. It would be risky to undertake such a journey, and yeah, with not very little money, it would be doubly risky. And then I'd have to get someone to look after this one. And yeah, I don't want to leave her. And I haven't been well with my bladder anyway. So I'm just going to stay home and lay low again like I do every year. But I appreciate the offer, Jackie. It's very sweet of you and kind of you to want to share Christmas with me, even though I actually don't do Christmas. But it still was a heartfelt thought. Love you. Love you anyway, my darling. I made a discovery today about the markets. I was effectively squeezed out, but all good. I found it too distressing and triggering anyway, trying to sell my stuff and put up with the zombie nastiness that seeped through. I will have to find a new great reset, oh dear goddess, for my personal timeline and get a life that is supportive, beneficial, nurturing, and lovely. How will I achieve that? The same way I got myself this far. One breath at a time. Whilst giving the middle finger to my enemies and riding shotgun with my gods. Same old, same old. You going to sleep, Charlie? You looking a bit sleepy. It's birdie num num sleepy by time, Charlie. The sun's going down. And she's getting all snoozy poozy woozy. 5th of December 2020. The new neighbours are finally moving into the newly built house. Mazel tov. Soon all that noise will be over, except the man is loud spoken. Yuck. But then, so am I. Kellyanne wrote, I've noticed that Denzel's voice carries 10 times further than mine when we are speaking loudly. People can hear him 2 blocks away, and yet mine can't be heard 2 rooms away. Huge difference. That's why it cheeses me off so much when I hear men, my dad or Denzel, complaining when a woman like myself is always the first to shout. She has no choice but to shout just to be heard above the booming force of her male counterparts, especially when they think what they have to say is so much more important than anyone else, and time is limited, and they've already used the past 3 hours lecturing you about subjects they chose and shutting you up every time you attempted to reply or say anything in defence of any alternative ideas or arguments that ought to have been raised, which also had merit and warranted time to discuss. Any man claiming otherwise, as my dad does, is kind of like saying a woman doesn't have the right or need to be heard, because if she speaks with the same force as a man, she is only a quarter as effective and is easily spoken over and forced to just shut up and wait and wait and wait until there's no time left and the man can say, oh, would you look at that? I have to go now. It's a bit like putting a heavyweight fighter in with a light flyweight fighter and calling it an even match, except worse. Never be afraid to use your voice how you need to just to be heard. What else can we do? Me. I found it funny a few days ago when the new neighbour loudly exhorted the opinion of his much smaller wife. Babe, what do you think of the colour of, presumably, the driveway? Babe, now they're very nice people, so it sounds like I'm making fun of them, but they're actually very nice people, but it was funny this day. I kind of had to laugh. Babe answered that it was not brown enough. He sounded devastated and said he liked it. Babe said it would do, but it's not her choice of colour. I lay in my hammock and tried not to laugh. It's a beautiful, large, brand new house, and he is so fucking loud. He is obviously in a very excited state. desperately seeking approval, even from me across the road, who does not give a shit, as I just want to live quietly and safely in my humble abode. I have identified them as bogan with new money. Ghastly. But honestly, I'm happy to see them all excited about their new house. I just hope they are not going to cause hassles down the track. I will just keep to myself as usual. I am impressed with how quickly they are moving in. 3 utes, all with large trailers, big family helping. That's nice. I suppose they will have lots of loud, raucous parties too. They didn't. They actually lived very quietly. They already keep loudly proclaiming about a Barbie. But look, anything is better than my previous now dead Romanian neighbour that kept threatening to rape me. At least this is a big, happy, earthy family. And as I said, they're very nice people, living their psychedelic dreaming, living their own dream as I'm living mine. Hey Charlie. Here I write, intransigent but untrammelled by fake lovers and their consorts. I push beyond the veil of their oozing dissolution, 2020 this was, walked the road less travelled, through the gravestones of dead loves and their paucity and treachery. Held my vision of much deserved, much desired life. Then looked around me. I'm looking in amazement because just a few minutes ago, a little redhead girl, people that live in the other street around the block here, a little redhead girl went running by with a little black poodly looking puppy, right? Only like 5 minutes while I was reading. And then just now, a much older woman, obviously the mum, is running around with the same little puppy. So that little puppy's conned 2 walks around the block out of her owners in the last 5 minutes, which is hilarious. She's got them puppy whipped already, as they do. I love puppies, but no more pets. You're the last one, Charlie. You're the last one. She's, what? Who says I'm going anywhere? You're not going anywhere, Charlie. You're just the last of the pets. Yeah, Mummy loves you too. Yes. Where was I when I was interrupted by the puppy Razzi? Held my vision of much deserved, much desired life, then looked around me. Crows calling in the late morning heat, Charlie by my side. Beauregard gnawing his bone. My own hobbit body slung between heaven and earth like the hangman, freshly showered and hair washed, purified and rectified. Soaking up the love from the multiverses who enables me to survive another day, another eon, cleaving to the Ein Sof, my supremely jealous God. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but my own becoming. It is what it is. All that is, was, and ever shall be. Another day or night in paradise, Charlie. 5th of December 2019. Last night, while attending the Tara Puja at my local Buddhist centre, I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable or weirded out. I asked myself, why am I even here? After all, I am quite unwell, and I had a bronchitis at the time, and this chasing the gods in every quarter seems rather pointless when I, myself, am already a manifestation of the One. Let's put a light on, Charlie. But a strong thought or inner voice came to me. You are on a journey, and do you not worry about your cat, who was dying at the time, your health, and your limitlessly frustrating love life? Ask for what you want. I almost had to chuckle. The last puja, which was my first one, I asked for healing for Sophie Cat. A month later, she is still alive, even if it is a bit of a zombie existence. So when it came time to dedicate the puja, I asked for healing of my mind, body and spirit, and for true love manifested in all dimensions and realms that is respectful, loyal, healthy, and meant for me. I asked for joy, peace, and true love and abundance for the congregation as well. I mentioned the holiness that I felt was present in the temple, which set the... here I explain. I observed the two female middle-aged white sangers mutter to each other, because it was probably a bit of an inappropriate blessing in a Buddhist temple, but I didn't mean any offence, just being my usual shamanic self. It's probably why they haven't asked me back there though, maybe. As a non-Buddhist, I felt perhaps I'd said something wrong in mentioning holiness. But it was too late, and the words tumbled from my lips like nectar on a freshly plucked lotus blossom. Oops. I left at the end, after gratefully receiving my offerings, feeling a tad stupefied. What am I doing? Praying in Buddhist temples, or being smudged and ecstatically supercharged in shamanic circles, chasing God in all manifestations. Oh dear goddess. Here we go with the computer issues again. When chasing God in all manifestations, when all I need do is remember who I am. But who am I now? Spirit cleaving to a slowly dying hobbit body, fighting for my breath, yearning for true love and recognition in my own abject isolation and or insulation, chasing the psychedelic dreamer's dream, knowing better that real love manifested and meant for me will come without capricious artifice or superficial antipathy. I am all the love I ever needed. Love stomped on and strangled, raped and torn asunder by monsters in men's clothing. Love that was reconfigured and reborn again and again. So, no? What is one more ingathering of chi, of the desires of the Desiree, the triumphant Tanya? Time to go supernova and let the gods decide. This time, when my true beloved comes, now this was it wasn't written 12 months ago. It was written in 2019, 4 years ago. This time when my true beloved comes, Baruch Hu haba, let there be trust, faith, goodness, and the support of my true friends, community, tribe. Let no evil saboteur sully what is truly mine by divine right and by the Tanya's will. So mote it be. Bring it. Here I share an article, private emails show Prince Andrew knew about victim he denied meeting. And I commented, filthy son of a bitch. But at least the Queen has cut his duties. Perhaps she has some respect for other women after all. December 5th, 2018. Nes Gadol Haya Po, a great miracle happened here. The Sephirot are dancing and smiling down upon me. Judgment is assuaged by the mystery of Da'at. Light streams down from Keter, and Tiferet is dancing. The ancestors are preparing a new table for me. They tell me my time has come to rejoice and embrace the life I always wanted and or needed. They sing a new hope into me. I lie on my bed, exhausted from my long bout of insomnia, mortified by my gallbladder, and humbled by my own survival. Move along. Nothing to see here. A temporal finger wag from the gatekeeper of the Tanya. My feet are planted in Malchut, but I rise and shine and am honoured in the divine. My personal history has taught me that I will be slapped down again, but I ignore this as I know I will grow back, a better manifestation of love and light in this reality and in all dimensions. I have struggled to make sense of recent revelations in the past few months. A brutal pruning of old griefs and old paradigms. They are losing their stranglehold on me. I am prizing their dead, clutching fingers from my throat and setting myself free. My heart still cleaves to one desire, but I throw that to the wall of shame, the Perspex wall, where he comes to spy on me like a monocled god, but dares not come close, as we both know I deserved better. I see through the cracked Perspex with a fresh perspective. We watch each other through barriers and bridges, but we dare not cross the divide. Like all my other lovers, he tried to push me into the mud, make me feel unlovable and worthless, called me weird and wild, feared my spirit and survivor's will to thrive. Poor thing, how could he know that I was an expert in harmonic resonance and spiritual growth and manifestations of my own kintsugi heart? Even I had not known it. Never fuck with a former zombie fleshed out again, blossoming into full splendour. It is a gift of the gods and a great and mighty miracle. a beautiful but terrifying remaking from a cut and mutilated golem to a frenetically fleshed out warrior goddess. Whetted by horrors and betrayals that should have killed me many times. Of course, I crave a love partner and a sweet and normal life. Underneath the spiritual armour beats a heart of a woman who knows what was stolen from her by trauma, grief, by fate, by former family, and by the gods. It was never lost on me that my parents-in-law loved me and cared more for my future as a young bride than my husband or my own family did. But they died, and their love, which honoured my fierce little warrior spirit, could not contain the hatred of their own spawn. They wanted me to be happy and prosper. I know that. I kept my promise and struggled to raise my daughters as Jews. I sent them to Sinai College and paid for it from my housekeeping money, and later we were sponsored, meaning after I left my husband we were sponsored. Over time the abuse got too much, and I cast off from that anchor of community that instead of offering me safety and buoyancy, began to flood my flagship and drown me. I treaded water and bailed out my sinking ship with a desolate, broken heart for decades. Then somehow, I don't know how or exactly when, my prayers were answered and the Holy One sent me a new passage. This ship is less leaky than the last one. It's covered in arrows from the old one who resented my seeking my own freedom and joy and meritorious survival. But its mainstay is strong. Its bow points forward into the mist, and some nights the sails are hoisted and surge forward in turgid seas with a strong wind at my back. But I have lived through many becalms in the dross and muck of lackluster, ghastly inability to move in any direction. My sails torn and broken, my hopes shattered and cast to the deep as offerings, as bribes, as trickster God temptations. So what can I say or do but rejoice? I delight in the beauty and love that surrounds me, in the light in the eyes of those who do love me, human and animal, spirit and Heyoka brats that love to torment me, but are my teachers. That Heyoka will not be free of me until they step backwards, arse up, and return to the 0 point of time and reset the button that reversed all our good and true and pure love and turned it fetid. But I see the healing taking place. 4 years in the making. I prayed to the gods for a perfect alignment. Be careful what you ask for. Giggles. So here it comes, a bigger love and a brighter light body than we bargained for. What can one short, fat hobbit woman do but laugh in her wildness and weirdness? They tried to kill me. I won. Let's eat. Weird? Weird would have been submitting to callow fools and useless tools. Sanity is holding true to yourself, even if it means you have to fight for the rest of your life in a society that hates women. Safety comes only to those who speak their truth and suffer no fools and sail away to distant horizons until one day we birth in a newly birthed paradigm and come home to ourself. Fierce and fearless, flawed but fabulous, darlings. Watching Vikings, eating fish and chips, sipping Moscato. I could do with some of that right now, actually. Moscato, I mean. But water will do. Sipping Moscato. My life is complete. Also, I was born in the wrong century. What am I saying? Century and wrong country. But that could be the wine talking, lol. With my luck, I would have ended up a slave instead of a shield maiden. But I don't think so. Socks owning the kitchen bench like the king of the jungle. There he is, my beautiful boy. I've still got his ashes up on top of my mantelpiece in the room where he used to sleep most of the time when he was alive. Haven't scattered his ashes yet. Here's my other baby, who is buried in the backyard with all the other pets that got buried. I was too ill to bury Socks when his time came because I had a terrible bronchitis and I was too weakened by that to conduct a burial. But anyway, my beautiful Sally organised and paid for his cremation, and he was delivered to me in a beautiful rosewood box. So it's okay if he lives on the mantelpiece for a while. I don't mind, really. It's just I don't usually keep ashes of my dead beloveds around. I usually scatter them in the sea or their favourite place, wherever that might be. Here's my other angel face. My bow, my one and only bow. Another bad night up and down. The cats have shat in the spare room, so I had to strip the bed. Either Socks or Sophie. I've been up all night too with my gallstones messing with my digestive system. It's now 1:46 a.m. and I have had little sleep. Ridiculous. So that was today in 2018. And then I had the gallbladder surgery on the 25th of June 2019. And then I was still really quite unwell for quite some time after that. So it's been a long, hard freaking slog, really, hasn't it, when you think about it? 5th of December 2017. I had a lovely evening practicing ukulele with Jared last night. We were so engrossed in it, we forgot to go to the kirtan chanting. Oh well, we had fun. I'm trying to learn ukulele in 1 month before Crystal comes home, as I want to be able to show her that I am not an epic loser and I can learn new things As Yoda says, do or not, there is no try. But in the style of, I mean, you have to laugh. Oh, dear goddess. Oh, the pressure I put on myself, it's hilarious. Pardon me. But in the style of the Tanya and Quentin Crisp, if you constantly fail, then, my dear, failure is your style. I have set myself up for a hard task to learn ukulele fluency in 1 month. I am bound to fall off my perch and scrabble around in the dirt like a plucked budgerigar or a self-mutilating rainbow lorikeet. But life is about accepting change and rising to my own unique challenges. I just had to bury a dead possum. Poor thing. I was going to blame the cats, but when I buried it, I saw it had no bite marks and blood was coming from its mouth. I smelled poison coming from John's house across the road the other day, so I suspect he is poisoning the possums again. He is such a pest, bastard. He really was. He was a fucking pest. But he died a horrible death alone in his house, and I didn't know he was dead for 4 days, till he started stinking up the place. So there was that. Awful it was. So sometimes, even though he was a bastard, sometimes I think maybe if I'd been more merciful and forgiving, I might have noticed he was dead earlier, right? Or not. He was always drunk and passed out, so you wouldn't even know if he was dead or alive half the time. 5th of December 2016. House hot, and also not my circus, not my monkeys. It was just the neighbour. It wasn't my fucking responsibility. Jesus. Especially after all the rape threats. It's lucky he survived that at all. I did threaten to kill him in the end. I said, I'll put you in hospital. Which stick would you like? I've got 2 sticks, my hockey stick or my big stick. Which one would you like? I said, you'll never threaten to rape me or any other woman ever again. And he looked at me, really worried. I said, by the way, I know your daughter's a doctor. I said, should I tell your daughter, the doctor, that you threatened to rape me with monotonous regularity? How would she feel about her dad threatening to rape me? He begged me, please don't tell her, please don't tell her. I should have told her. But no, why ruin some young woman's perceived idea of what a wonderful father she never had? Fuck's sake. My parents were fucking creepy like that too. It's probably why it triggered me, actually. 5th of December 2016. House is hot. Just had a shower. Now wet and hot. Don't read into that the wrong way, boys. Dog hot. Cats hot. Hot chickens. Brisbane heatwave day 4. Climate change. Sucks. And then a friend of mine in America replied, I'll send you the snow we're supposed to get this week. Me. Lol, in the afternoon storms we get hail, ice the size of tennis balls in one area, then it heats up again. Nuts. We have had very wild and weird weather in the last 10 years, haven't we? I don't think it's climate change though. I think it's just, I don't know what it is. Just seasonal like everything else on planet Earth. And maybe solar flares and I don't know. But the whole climate change thing is a fucking hoax, people. I'm really sure of it. Just more oppression for humanity. 5th of December 2015. Ha ha. A murder of crows. 5 of them. Stole a corn ice block. Bless. I was making corn ice blocks for the chickens to try and keep them cool because it was just so hot. That was in 2015. I might go out tonight for a couple of hours once I put Bobo to bed. I'm stony broke until Tuesday. Story of my life. But I missed out last night due to feeling exhausted and worried about having no money. So tonight I will take a dose of harden the fuck up and go on an adventure. Dance. Be happy. Then come home to my little dog and cats. I have enough petrol to get me to the city and back. So used to living on a prayer, but miracles happen, and so does magic. There is a lovely wind with my name on it, calling out my wild. My hens are very happy. I just gave them frozen corn ice blocks, which, the crows took one. First day of Hanukkah is on Monday, 7th of December. Oh, it's on the 7th of December this year, but it's a Thursday. Isn't that weird? So the first candle will be Sunday, 6th of December. Oh, okay. So not quite the exact same day, but close enough. I still have some Hanukkah candles in the freezer, enough to start the holiday. Chag Sameach to my Jew crew. May the light from above bring joy, love and peace to us all. May we let our own light shine, and may we be both a blessing to others and be blessed ourselves. Amen. Mushu Beauregard and I finally woke up at exactly 1:11 p.m. I went to bed at 9:30 p.m. last night, utterly exhausted, but have had a good sleep. Bobo woke up early this morning and has luxuriated in bed with me all day. Such a good puppy. I let the hens out at 5:30 a.m. Time to go spend some time with them in the garden. 5th of December, 2013. I'm just going to scroll down because I don't think I wrote that on that date. I might have. Trying to remember. Because sometimes I repost things. Oh my goodness, it's a long one. No. Well, if I don't have another date on it, it means I did write it on that day. Okay, here goes. Ready? Ha. Ha, 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 ha. I'm living a Charles Bukowskian existence. People say, I don't like your lifestyle, and I can't explain what it means to me, what it means to be me, right in this point of time, in this place, and I'm suffering from an exuberance of joy and bliss and splendour heretofore unknown in my own life. The kind of writhing, roiling excitement that I might have felt when I was young, when I believed that things were possible and that I was meant to be in prosperity and bliss. And so it was for a time. Until my enemies subdued me and eviscerated me, destroyed me, and almost killed the spark that is within me. Almost, but not quite. Like a line in a song, and so I'm back from outer space with that look upon my face, and I think to myself, who am I? What am I? Who is it that I might yet become? I nod and I wink and I pretend that I am not really here, but I can't. I can't hide. I can't lurk in the shadows of my own mind anymore. I know with a deep, deep knowing that I've never known before, like an eagle's wings soaring above the heavens, looking down with clear seeing, seeing the tiny, minuscule elements that make up my life, that before made no sense, but now forms this huge, expansive tapestry of delight. I am me. I am the perfect manifestation of all that is, was, and will be. I am a child of God. I have spoken and requested humbly and been answered many times. Many times in my struggle to survive my life, I have been in despair, and I have been through crises of faith. Yet my tiny, shrill, shrewish requests have been heard and answered each and every time. So to the atheist that tells me there is no God, then there is something greater. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Ask and you shall receive, and so it is. I am so happy with the tests and experiences that I put myself through without even realizing what the rewards would be. And I've just got to plug in just one moment. Yesterday I went to the pub, meaning in those days I was going to Irish. I was a regular at Irish Murphy's, right? Before it turned toxic and evil. And I saw there Christine, who was frightening and confronting in her madness and in her brilliance and in her joie de vivre and in her loud and exuberant zest for life, whom by her own eccentricity intimidates the average bear, the average man. And by God, they were average in that pub. Very fucking mundane indeed. They buy her drinks all night, and she lives on the whim and the whimsical vicissitudes of fate, as I have done. But I have always paid my way. Always. Out of pride, out of determination, to not quite really be the official schnorrer I call myself. This beautiful woman with 2 missing teeth, the mirror, the sister of my soul, for I too would be missing my 2 front teeth were it not for the great good fortune of dentistry, and somehow, by some miracle, having enough money to replace them one way or another. Even though I lived for many years looking like Bugs Bunny with a shining, glaring miscreant of a creation, courtesy of the dental hospital, I finally have what appear to be perfect looking teeth. And they're actually not. They're actually also very poorly done, and I paid $10,000 for those 2 smackaroonies. I look at this woman with her missing teeth and I want to cry. She tells me she is an alcoholic, not in so many words, and she tells me she is a gambler. She tells me she has $9 to her name until Thursday, and I think to myself, I have less than that until the following Tuesday. And I laugh because I am not really such an alcoholic or such a gambler. But there in the blueprint of disaster, laid out in front of me in all her splendour, is this beautiful, beautiful woman, the spark of the divine, the survivor with her strength and her glory and her zest, who never gives up and never quits. And if she wants to drink, well, damn it, let her. Let the men buy her drinks all night. I still remember her with great fondness, and they got rid of her out of there out of sheer spite because she was loud. She could be loud and excitable, but she was a lovely person and I delighted in her. So they got rid of her. Evil they were. She screams out to me, "I hate penises." And I smile and say, but it's not the penis. It's whom it might be attached to that is the thing that is hateful. She smiles and nods, and I think to myself, my wild, toothless one, who screams declarations of love for me, is possibly gay, and I think it matters not, for I love her. I love her spirit, and I love her image that she reflects back to me. Myself. For I too have hated the penis and its accoutrements, and it's funny and it's tragically sad. For without the penis, without the provider, the lover, the man, the right man to come to my life, I, like her, am destined to walk through life on a quest that has no answer. On a quest, on a struggle of poverty and despair. But I have fared better than Christine. Better or differently. I have been blessed with children. I once had a husband, a toxic family that taught me the lessons that I needed to know about the life that I needed to know. And so it goes on. Tuesday night at the pub was a night of revelry amongst the mad and the disenfranchised, the marginalised, the dregs of society. And I sit there in judgment thinking, and I look at the guitarist, who's a friend of mine, and he looks back, and we wink and we nod, and we think, for our gifts, his love of music and his great talent, and my love of life and my great talent of perhaps being able to decompartmentalize it, analyze it, and throw it back together and try to make sense out of it. Is that not art? While the real artist smiles down from the realms far, far removed from this planet, and yet so very near and close. Behind my shoulder, I feel the angel's wings spread out around me to protect me, to show me, fear not, I am here, you are here. Be in this moment and experience. Feel the light, the life. Feel the lesson. Be the lesson. give and take, blessings and curses, for you who has been cursed enough for several lifetimes are now being taught to recognize how to see the blessings, the love, the splendor. I came home from the pub and I thought, this is happiness. Living amongst the living, even when those who are living think that they are really just shadow puppets, I know that they too shall come alive again one day. The zombie dance shall fall away, and they shall rediscover their own innate splendor. For once they have rediscovered it, the beauty, the sublime, supreme beauty will inspire someone else to turn their little light on. Only if you can walk in the darkness and the shades and speak the truth of light and love and bliss and be well-wishing and dignified and honourable in the light of madness and despair. Only if you can hold your head up and keep moving forward, because moving backwards is no longer an option. You've tried that. Can you inspire others to see that they too are a gift, a great gift? Later on, drunk on red wine, I had a good time at Lindsay's party, met some interesting people, good food, good company. Going out tomorrow night to an art gallery opening followed by a burlesque evening. No doubt we awesome ladies will get to the pubs and clubs for some dancing as well. Looking forward to more awesomeness, pardon me, and wildness. Disappointed I didn't hear back from Transvaal Diamond Syndicate's lead singer, dude, that's Christian Trihorn, and I did hear back, by the way, for the tickets. So we'll have to try to buy online on Tuesday when I get paid, or we will miss out this gig. Oh well, plenty of other cool stuff to do and see. Life goes on. I don't want to be the crazy stalker and or groupie person. I like their music too. Oh well, only one thing to do is enjoy my red wine. Really tired and weak today. Must be the heat or having pushed myself while on heavy antibiotics. I'm at Lynn's and going to a Christmas party with Gail and Lindsay tonight. Hope I perk up a bit by then. I've got a memory of that party. I didn't write about it. Probably at the time I was probably worried that Gail might read my writings and be offended, or Lindsay might be offended, but those women aren't in my life anymore. And fuck it. It's a funny anecdote from that party, right? So Gail and her friend Lindsay are both forensic psych nurses. And Gail was my friend for 15 years. And she was a seasoned forensic psychiatric nurse. She used to work at Waco with the serial killer patients that are locked up for murdering their parents and things like that. Like horrifically, criminally insane people. So she invites me to this, I presume, staff Christmas party. So a lot of the staff there that were looking at me, McJudgy, and analysing me constantly, because she would have told them that I'm her friend, the mental patient, right? I'm sure she did, because she could be a sadistic fucking cow behind my back. So I was conscious that there were, quite a few people sort of looking at me a bit condescendingly, and even Gail said, "Do you think they're looking at you a bit condescendingly, Tanya?" And I went, "Oh, they are actually." I said, "But I don't care." I said, "I hold my own in any company." It's a great gift of trauma I got from my family. My family were very elitist. My sister was a lawyer with 3 degrees who literally thought her shit didn't stink. So their narcissism and their psychopathology actually formed part of my persona, which is I literally can keep company with kings or with beggars. I'm comfortable in both worlds. Well, I've never met a king, just saying. But I'm not easily intimidated or daunted by people that perceive that they are of higher status than me. Because I know every day we get up, we put our pants on one leg at a time. We all have to shit. We all have to urinate. We all have to eat to survive. And in between that, life goes on, people. I see no difference between one human being or another, regardless of echelon or job description. So I was conscious that some of the guests at this party were psychiatrists and their wives, or psychiatrists and their husbands, for example. And I was unfazed. And Gail was actually quite, kind of amazed. She said, "Yes, it is amazing how you can hold your own in any company, Tanya." And I said, "Well, it is what it is." But one man there, who I presume was another psych nurse, I don't know, she said he worked at Belmont Hospital, so I assume he's a psych nurse. As men often do, because I was dressed quite lovely, and, he could see that I was friends with Gail, and took a shine to me. So we were sitting at this very large square table, and he came to sit with us and started chatting. But as we were chatting, he was moving closer and closer and closer. It was probably a set. Look, hindsight 2020. It was probably one of Gail's little setups to say, just stir up a bit and we'll have a bit of a laugh, see what she does, right? Because Gail knew me well. She knew which buttons to push, and from time to time would malfeasantly push them. So hindsight 2020, it probably was a setup actually when I think about it. But that not everything is ugly and not everything is an agenda, right? So I hope not. But anyway, this man was chatting to Gail, and Gail was teasing him a little bit, with her femme fatale ways. Gail could be quite, she could be quite eviscerating, but she had the very cold British aloof drama way of doing it, which is delightful to watch, but not very pleasant when you're on the receiving end of it. Why you bite his mama? She needs to go to bed. She's getting cranky. So anyway, this man took a shine to me, as I said, men often do, especially at a party when they're having a few drinks. And he started pushing himself so he could sit as close to me as possible. So I would throw Gail a glance, and she would give me this little smirk like this. She had a delightful way of barely noticeably smirking. It was actually one of her charms that I used to find charming. So, because I'm a psychopath magnet. So anyway, so I moved away from this gentleman, moved my bottom over a little bit, and then continued chatting. But I was physically moving myself each time a little bit to get distance from him. And I noticed a couple sitting further away, who I think were psychiatrists, were sort of wryly watching with amusement, because they could see what was going on, my body language. Psychiatrists the whole entire profession is based on watching your body language while you enumerate your life histories, so they can work out if you're lying or if you're being authentic and telling the truth or not, right? It's part of their training. So they're watching me almost imperceptibly move my bottom along, and so I would sort of very discreetly move along, and this man would just keep coming. He was like a fucking stingray moving in for the kill, and I would be like, So it got to the stage that I'd run out of any possible place to go with my tuchus. I'd run out of seating, and Gail was almost on the brink of bursting into hysterical, because this is a point where I'm like, I've moved myself as far as I can go. Now you can fuck off, kind of thing. But I didn't want to create a scene because it was a party and I didn't know these people, and I was a guest brought there as an extra +1 with Gail, whatever. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But anyway, I moved my assets as graciously as I could to get away from this very ardent, very determined, very overly eager man who I didn't know from Adam. I didn't know if he was married. I didn't know if he had a partner. All I knew was he was chasing me around this fucking table, right, in conversation. So I can't remember what happened in the end, but I think I just got up and just randomly walked off and went and said hello to the psychiatrist who would bemusedly musing over my antics, So it was a very weird party. And later on, Gail even teased me about, I said, what was that actually all about? She said, I don't know. She says, he's normally a very serious man at work. She says, I've never seen him behave like that before. She said, what did you do? With her little smirk. And I didn't fucking do anything, Gail. All I did was have a conversation, return his conversation, chitter-chatter, and be polite. It's all I did, Gail. And she was laughing her ass off. And she was like, but Tanya, she said, he wanted you badly. And I was like, oh, Gail, I think you're projecting. And I teased her back, But it was a very weird party. And like I said, later on I thought, was that done deliberately to wind me up, to see if I'd crack a shit and make a scene or something, But anyway, I didn't crack a shit, although I kind of wanted to by the end of it. And I didn't create a scene, and I was on my best behaviour, but I also didn't go to any more of their parties because it was just too fucking stressful, I don't go to parties as a general rule of thumb, because I find, dealing with human interactions and creepy men and drunken men and fucking borderline fucking women, I find it all too stressful. So I avoid parties and Christmas. And the only celebration I do still have is my birthday, because you've got to celebrate something for the love of God, But I think I will be absent for my birthday in April next year. I think I will just totally, I don't know, just run away. I just don't feel like participating in anything anymore. It's all too weird. But anyway, we'll see who's in my life by then and who wants to spend, quality time with me. We'll just see how it pans out. But it's all very weird. That's all I've got to say about that. So anyway, I continue reading. The 5th of December, 2012. Crystal has her gallbladder operation tomorrow. Oh, fuck, that was a nightmare too. But we won't go into that. There's no point going over that. It's my daughter's private business and it's not relevant to the story. But anyway, it was awful. And I wrote, it will be such a relief when it's over for her to be pain-free. And in a week or two, she will have so much energy and feel so much better. It was heinous what went on. Just say. Anyway. Just got up at 4 p.m, feel much better after 14 hours sleep, and the lovely soul-refreshing swim I had last night at Lynn's place. She really is an angel to me, as it was just what the doctor ordered for my desiccated, zombified body and soul. I came almost instantly alive, ow, Charlie, and blossomed like a flower, like a hibiscus flower in champagne, darlings. I am such a fiery person that I really need to be immersed in largish bodies of water to bring myself back into balance. I do wish I had my own pool again. Sigh. There is always South Bank, or Lynn's kind offer of the use of her pool. So beautiful. Oh, Charlie, I am so happy right now. The wind is blowing in my hair. The chooks are out foraging, enjoying their freedom. The cats are by my side. Bella is too. All is good in the hood. Update 2020. Today is extremely hot too. Stop it. I pray that I win lotto one day so I can buy my own pool. Time for a cold shower. Oh dear. Never mind. Charlie is chewing on my coal earrings and being very naughty. Aren't you, Charlie? 5th of December 2011. On the trail for disclosure, clarification, justice and money. Roll on Friday. It'll be good to see an end to the will dispute, especially now Angela has betrayed me, then abdicated her fight for her share. I now only have the two Shura con artists to fight off. Friday's mediation proves to be very interesting indeed. Well, no, it didn't. It fucking dragged on until the 6th of September 2012. It was evil, that whole thing. It was complete, utter evil. So, I don't even want to think about it ever again. 5th of December 2010. I enjoyed yesterday's bar mitzvah very much, but woke today with a nasty case of hay fever. I hope it's hay fever. So it was a lovely excuse to snooze, pass out, and occasionally arise out of my unconsciousness on a drear, rainy day to the blare of the TV in the background. Why didn't I just turn the bloody thing off and go back to bed? Life is interesting, nevertheless. And then I posted, change your Facebook profile picture to a cartoon character from your childhood and invite your friends to do the same. Until Monday, 6th of December, there should be no human faces on Facebook, but an invasion of memories. This is a campaign to stop violence against children. And so I commented, when I was a child, I related most to the Cheshire Cat. I loved its smugness, slinkiness, and mysterious ability to disappear and reappear at will. Now I'm in my mid-40s. I identify most with the Dormouse and, of course, his natural opposite, the Mad Hatter. I think I'm really a composite of both personalities. If I'm awake, I'm loopy as Mr. Hatter, and well, it takes so much energy to be present. The rest of the time, I'm schluffing in my giant teapot like the Dormouse. Perhaps at my core, I am still the Cheshire Cat, though. I really love being transient, intransigent, and the ability to smile at the absurdities of my entire life. I also liked to disappear as a child, leaving only the illusion of my presence behind, a very sweet but sardonic smile. Being invisible or unavailable in a house full of psychopaths, I discovered was a very good tactic to evade much of the nonsense that was going on. And later on, I'm worn out from sneezing and snoozing all day. Also, my throat feels very dry. As it does again, I need another drink of water. Methinks taking 2 polaramines has dehydrated me, or else the constant nasal drip has. Lol. Shmeh, another day to sneeze and snooze tomorrow. Good night all. And on that note, we conclude the readings from 5th of December 2023. And Charlie is off to go Betty Boys in her cage. So she says, Laila Tov, you all. Laila Tov. Hello, goodbye, I love you. She really is in her own little, as soon as it gets dark, birds need to go to sleep. So she's already not quite with us. So I'm going to put her to bed where she belongs in her cage. CP Buys. You had a nice visit with Mama, only for a short period of time because Mummy didn't get home till 5 p.m. So you've had 2.5 hours of Mummy time. I'll make it up to you tomorrow, Charlie. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow, Charlie. I'm going to be home with the Charlie all day tomorrow. We're going to play in the garden. We're going to have tree time. And you is going to be a happy bird tomorrow, playing in all the trees, a free bird, because Mama loves you very, 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 very much. Even though she ran away with the humans for 2 days. But it was special because it was my cousin that came down from Cairns today, Charlie. And yesterday I spent with Auntie Lynn. So you see, Mama's always home. I don't have to feel guilty if I'm gone for 2 days, do I? She says, yes, you do, Mama, because I is the new times 20 world leader, and I don't like being left on my own, and nor should I have to be on my own, Mama. All right, yes, I agree with you. You is the boss, Charlie. And on that note, good night from us. Much love from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm, and no doubt I will be back tomorrow with another reading for the 6th of December 2023. May you be blessed by the gods of your understanding, and may you reap more joy in your truest, greatest loves, however they manifest, even if it's only a little birdie on your shoulder. And enjoy the silly season and the build up to Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's Eve. And save all your kisses for me. Although I don't go around kissing people on New Year's Eve, just saying. I always found that part of New Year's Eve kind of creepy. But if you've got your true love with you on New Year's Eve, then you definitely should kiss at midnight. Because then it's like copacetic, darlings. All right, here's my kisses out to the multiverses, from the Ein Sof down to Malkut and back again. And have a beautiful day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are on the space-time continuum. Bye for now.